So how do you see the state of the movie industry today in Nigeria? Your summation of the movie industry today.
I think the industry is in a, well, I think we've actually got into, it's getting really better. It's really getting better because, number one, before now, at first we were struggling. I mean, our main platform was VHS. Then we moved to VCD. There was no cinema. And then from VCD, some cinemas came up, and then we started taking our films to cinema, and then VCD died. And then with VCD, with the cinemas, DVD came in, and DVD started fading out. Right now, people hardly will buy DVDs, so it's cinema. And after cinema, of course, Africa Magic and Mnet also were acquiring content. So you have between Mnet, Africa Magic, and cinemas to sell your content. But now you have other windows. You have Apple, you have Netflix, you have Amazon. You have all of these platforms where people get to monetize their content. But out of all of these people, I think then you also have YouTube. Some people just make content and they put that straight on YouTube and they make money. They really monetize. But I think these days, if you put on your TV and you switch to Netflix, there is no way you're not going to see minimum of 50 going to 100 Nigerian films, on Netflix. These films, of course, were not put there for free. They must have been monetized. How much they paid the content owner, I don't know. But for anybody to have agreed to put their content on those platforms, it means they are pleased with whatever was offered to them. More so, these films will get to be seen beyond Nigeria, and it gives exposure, and then it will also give room for other jobs to come to the filmmaker if your job is good. So it means we're not stuck. It means the world is watching. It means that even if your film is not good enough to go to cinema, you have other platforms where you can actually monetize the content. So, and people are paying more attention to quality now, to production value, because if your film does not have quality, you can't even get to those big platforms. So I think we're getting better.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about your formula for success? Because I know that, like you said a few minutes ago, you take loans from banks, you take loans to do a lot of things you do. So it means that you must have the right formula to do your projects in such a way that it becomes profitable and you can actually pay back and meet your production costs and all of that. How, maybe you can give us an idea of how you've been able to balance out all of this.
So you see, for me, when I do a project, I don't look at, and this is also a formula in Hollywood. When I do one project, I'm not doing that project, or I don't see it as the project that will give me the comfort, or I always see it as a project that will get me to the next phase. So when a project is, for example, when we did CEO in 2016, we did CEO with a lot of expectation. The film got a lot of reviews and a lot of attention and all of that, but we didn't recoup our projection. Our sales projection was not met. And I took 50 million loan from Bank of Industry that time, as part of the budget, to make the film. I was just able to complete paying that loan. It was meant to be 2 years loan, but it eventually took me 4 years to pay. Right? But was CEO a failure? I'll say no. No, because CEO paved way for other projects that I have done after then. CEO, even just last year, Netflix acquired it. And film is not something that you monetize once. It's something that you can monetize forever. So that's why when people want to acquire content and they come to you and they will tell you, we want your film in perpetuity, is because they want your film for life, because they know that they will continue to make money from your film for life. So if you make a content, it's like building a house and then you start renting the house, out, the property will appreciate, and it will get to a point where even your yearly rent that you get from the property is more than what you actually use in building the house. And it's the same with film. So for me, when I make a film, yes, you do your projection, you do your like a citation. When we were doing citation, of course, by now we thought we would have started doing private screening and maybe premiere and all of that. But when God says, hey, it's not your call, it's not your call. So, of course, and that definitely have affected our projection, revenue projection. But it does not mean that we're still not going to make that money, but it might be a bit delayed. So anybody, that's why I say to people who want to come into filmmaking, who just see it as an avenue to invest money, you are making the biggest mistake. You don't come, if you are a money bag, and then you just say, oh, that film, actually they announced that so film made 400 million. It is not what you think it is. And a lot of people who are really desperate and wants to make film, when you go to them with your money, they won't tell you the truth. They will take your money and they will tell you the money will come now. It's not true. You might do it and you might get lucky, people might accept it and then you make money, but naturally, you're supposed to spread like any other business. You're supposed to say, okay, let's look at 2 years before you start making profit, or before you it might be earlier, but you need to give at least an ample time, for that to happen. So for me, I have a business structure. Yes, I run an art space, but I'm very mindful of the fact that I've been using bank money, and if you take bank loan or somebody's loan or investor's money, you have to return it back. So that is why I don't bite more than I can chew. Whatever it is I know will kill me, I run from it. But if it's time to do certain things and you put all that is needed, there's no way it's not going to come to pass.
Okay, I also noticed that you seem to be in love with old school things. I mean, even in your films and all that, there's a lot of celebration of old school input and all of that. So I'm wondering, why did you decide to do a lot in this area, and how come it shows in many of your productions in terms of old school things you use?
Honestly, I think I think I'm just Omo Agba. I think it's something that it's in the blood. And for me, I also believe that for you to get to your next point, you can't forget your past. So I try to balance my past, measure it with my present, and then look at the future. That is how I think. And I was having this conversation with someone this morning, and I'm like, look, I like vintage stuff, old cars. I have like 1,000 records, that I play on my turntable. These are not things that I inherited. These are things that I acquired as an adult. None of those things, I didn't pick any of them from my father or inherit them. No, I developed interest in them and I started acquiring them, and it gives me joy because when I do this, I stand out. To some people, I mean, you can define luxury in different ways. If you come to my house, you will see a lot of wood, you will see stones, you will see, all these things. For me, it resonates with my mindset. And I pick a lot. I mean, when I'm thinking, those things allow me, nature allows me think, better, than being in some luxury house that is just full of golden chairs and stuff. No, I prefer to have rustic wood and things that when I remember Agbamu in my father's village, and I remember Komu, my mother's village, and I remember going there, growing up, and of course schooling in Agbamu for a big while, and then merge it with Lagos and merge it with your exposure, the fact that you've traveled the world and you've seen things, and then look at what kind of future do you want to live. At our age, we're above, if you're above 45, you can actually count how many more years you have to live. If you're lucky, maybe you have another 25 exciting years when you are really active and you can, and 20 years is just like tomorrow. So you can say to yourself, look, what do I want to be remembered for? What do I want to do? What memory do I want to have? How do I want to? So I like those vintage things, gives me joy and fulfillment. So that is why. And it reflects in my films, my work, and my lifestyle as well.
Okay. Can you tell us a bit about what effects, or yes, that's the word, what effects your dad has on what KUNLE AFOLAYAN has become today in terms of input, in terms of, and I know that constantly you still think about him, and what are the things you come up with, and how does it help you to move on with what you're doing?
Well, work-wise, I'll say I pick a little because at that point, there was no way I could venture into learning, how to be a filmmaker. But I was able to learn the trade of filmmaking and cinema, running cinemas. But there's something I picked from my father, and that is integrity. My father is the type, and you can ask all his colleagues, if my father is caught doing anything, he will stand there and say, yes, I did it. Okay, so what are you going to do? My father is the type that if you go to him and you like, maybe you go to report someone else to say, oh, KUNLE Magbore Abisoye, yesterday he came and he said that. My father is the type that will call Abisoye, then he will call you. Yeah, and you won't know that was what he wanted to do. And then he will invite two of you and you say, yesterday you said, Abisoye said this about me. Okay, so can you say it so that we can resolve it now? So for me, that I learned about him. And that's why it will be difficult for me to, to lie unnecessarily, because you can't kill me anyways. And not a lot of people can stand people who are blunt. And for me, I don't see it as being rude or being forward or being too blunt. I just see it as integrity. And that I learned from, in fact, I didn't learn it, just learn it. I think I took it from him. Now, work-wise, up till now, I still refer to some of his works and I try to compare them with my works. And now I'm like, oh, technology has changed. Maybe this man would have done this better, or maybe I should have done this better. I compare our works, sometimes. But I think wherever he is, I don't know where he is. I don't, I don't know where they go. When people die, I'm not sure where they go. So, but wherever he is, if truly people look back, I'm sure if he's looking back, he will be so joyous and happy that his legacy, continue. I'm very, and that, I'm very sure of that. If truly they look back, he will be happy. It's not just me. We have Gabriel, we have Aremo, we have Moji, we have some of my other siblings who are, who have continued the legacy. And that should be the pride of any parent.
Okay. Thank you very much, my brother. We've enjoyed the session. What will be your message to a lot of your fans who are here watching you, and also the viewers watching from different parts of the world?
Well, for me, I'll just say, look, continue to support work of art. There's so many. I like the fact that a lot of young people are beginning to diversify. These days, you see people who study law and who study medicine dabbling into fashion, into catering. I mean, of course, I also now do fashion, and all of that. And this is because if you have it, you have it, and that's it. And I also like to tell people to please follow us if you want to have updates about what we do in Cap Hub. Then follow Cap Hub on Instagram, Cap KAPHUP, Cap Hub on Instagram, and then you can see all the cap, and then golden effect, and you have updates on what we do and all of that. And